special meeting, 6:30 p.m., Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. And this is a special meeting. And Rita, will you do the call?
Mayor Karen Moran.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Christy Malchow. Councilmember.
Deputy Mayor has been excused. Can we acknowledge an excusal for her, please?
Yes, we shall.
Thank you.
She's out for snow.
Councilmember Ken Gamblin.
Present.
Councilmember Tom Odell.
Present.
Councilmember Chris Ross.
Present.
Councilmember Pamela Stewart.
Here.
Councilmember Kent Treen.
Present.
Thank you.
I love that dog.
This is Archie.
Hi, Archie. Okay, meeting accessibility. Pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Proclamation 20-28, the city is unable to provide an in-person location for the public to listen to the virtual city council meeting this evening. Meetings are still accessible to the public and public comment is able to be submitted. And public comment, I guess. Note, the city is now using Zoom webinar and to host these public meetings. To join a Zoom webinar on the web, https://zoom.us/I/977-434-76957. By telephone, dial 253-215-8782 and enter the following webinar ID when prompted, 977-4347-6957#. To view live, the city website, www.sammamish.us/TV21, the city YouTube, and Comcast Channel 21 within Sammamish only. To view later, the meeting videos are available the day after the meeting on city website, www.sammamish.us/TV21, or YouTube and Comcast Channel 21 within Sammamish only. And the pledge. Pam, would you and Archie like to lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. Come on, Archie. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, this should be easy. First thing up is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Did we have any comments?
Mayor,
Yes.
can we move executive session in front of the agenda item?
Yes. I had heard that from somebody else as well.
Do we need an executive session?
There is no executive
No,
session that
I don't think
aware of.
we have one. And I'm not in favor of adding one unless we have a compelling
Yeah,
reason to.
I think it's just there as a matter of formality.
Do we have
Right.
do we have staff available?
I'm gonna ask for an executive.
An executive
My
session for
questions are
what?
purely legal.
On
Okay.
what topic?
We're reviewing the Parker purchase and sales agreement.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good idea if it's requested by a council member.
And it's about legal.
So do we have Lisa on this evening?
She is.
I am here.
Can we please do public comment first, though, and not executive
Yep.
session first? I don't like it
I'm
when we
okay
make
with
people
that.
wait.
Yep, we're on the
I'm fine with that. I'm
agenda,
absolutely okay with that.
So Lisa's on. Does anybody have any problems with switching those two around, and or with adding an executive session to it?
I mean, no.
Okay, then we will go ahead and we will add that in first. Absolutely. Behind public comment. Okay. Motion on the floor as for the approval of the agenda
As amended?
as amended. Okay. All in favor of approval of agenda as amended, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Excellent. Okay, public comment. Pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Proclamation 20-28, the city is unable to provide an in-person location for the public to listen to the virtual city council meeting this evening. Meetings are still accessible to the public and public comment is able to be submitted. Written public comment will be accepted until 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Submit your written comments by email to the city clerk, lhatchie@sammamish.us, and the city council at citycouncil@sammamish.us. Verbal comment. Please join the Zoom meeting if you would like to give a verbal public comment. Information on how to join is listed under meeting accessibility at the top of this agenda. Up to 3 minutes of verbal public comment may be provided per person live during the meeting. During public comment, the city clerk will ask attendees to, and I'm going to turn this over to Lita.
I see that we have one hand raised for public comment. I will unmute the caller in the order that they raise their hand. I only see one. If your turn to speak, I will convert you to a panelist and you'll be unmuted and will turn on your webcam if you desire. You will have 3 minutes to provide public comment. During this conversion, it will feel like you have been removed from the meeting, but please wait a few seconds and you will return. For attendees who are joining by phone, please raise your hand by pressing *9. 15 seconds before your 3 minutes is complete, I will provide a time warning. At 3 minutes, you will be muted and converted back to an attendee. Please start by your comment by stating your name and the city that you live in for the record. I will now unmute the first caller. Caller number 1, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry. This is good evening, Council. This is Jan Bird from Sammamish, Washington, and I want to comment on the current Balanced Land Use and Mobility Analysis (BIS), technically known as BLUMA. I do disagree with its scope as it focuses solely on traffic concurrency, but the environmental impact statement will be used to drive changes to the comprehensive plan and land use policy, which will have significant impacts on everyone who lives in Sammamish. And by only focusing on traffic concurrency, it does not address issues of internal housing imbalances in Sammamish over the cycle of life, nor appropriate local services and sustainability. Residents have made comments related to this, but their comments have not been included in the scope. Now, once we figure out the internal housing needs and services, then we can study the consequences of our past comprehensive plan with minimized growth versus the BLUMA with very low growth versus optimized growth, which is basically studying the wants and needs, finding out what do we have too much of, what do we not have enough of, what the gaps are, and how to fill them. Then we need to compare and contrast the consequences of all 3 growth possibilities. And because there have been no study sessions or public hearings, the average person has no clue about what this EIS is and what its impact on them. Normally, with any change to city code or regulation, it starts out with a study session with the Planning Commission, followed by a public hearing with a recommendation from the Commission. Then it goes to City Council once again with a study session, followed by public hearing. Because the scope will be so far-reaching, the same process needs to be applied to this EIS. I'm just going to conclude with something I learned about the AARP Livable Communities Initiative. That's 450 plus communities in the U.S. They say the common thread among the enrolled communities and states is the belief that the places where we live are more livable and better able to support people of all ages when local leaders commit to improving the quality of life for the very young, the very old, and everyone in between. People of all ages benefit from the adoption of policies and programs that make neighborhoods walkable, feature transportation options, enable access to key services, provide opportunities to participate in community activities, and support housing that's affordable and adaptable. Well-designed, age-friendly communities foster economic growth, make for happier and healthier residents of all ages. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. And Dave, perhaps, Dave Rudat, perhaps we should probably, because some of the emails I'm seeing is people are really not understanding the process and why everybody, including the council, has been left out to this date. So we probably should have somebody go through that process for them so people understand when their time is coming for information.
Okay, we will put something more together. We've been trying to communicate out, but we'll endeavor to bring people up to date. Public comment, I think, just closed yesterday. There are certain requirements on public hearings, and whether we meet those or not are questions. We'll get those addressed and out so that we can get those on our website.
Right. Yeah, because I know a lot of people don't seem to understand, that there's going to be public gatherings to get information and that sort of thing, and they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, we have a couple meetings we're going to recommend to the council that are solely based on airing out and bringing the council up to date on the EIS.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That leads us to the first thing on the agenda, which will then be executive session. And so
I have that citation the city attorney provided if you don't have it there.
Okay, perfect. So would you like to read that for us?
Certainly, it's RCW 42.30.110, parens 1, parens B, purchase of real estate.
Excellent. Okay, council members, we will see you in executive session. And Chris, what are you thinking time-wise? 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Councilman Ross, that was a question by the mayor to you.
Yeah, 25 minutes should do it.
Okay, so let's start with 20. So it's 6:40. Well, it's 6:43. So let's say being back at 7 o'clock.
Council, I will need to go to the executive and set up the Teams meeting. I wasn't prepared for it, so I'll just take a few minutes to get it set up, and then you can join.
Okay.
Hey, Karen, we better say 7:10, 7:15 then.
Okay. So,
7:10 at the latest, please. This shouldn't take that long.
okay. I would. Okay. Let's say 7:10.
Thank you.
And Alita will get a Teams out to all of us via email.
Yes, it's on that invite that I sent this morning at the very bottom, so you can join there.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. See you on the other side, everyone.
I think it's okay now.
Okay. All right. So we are going to be extending executive session. And so this is for our meeting dated for September 28th. 28th. It's September 28th. We'll be extending our executive session to 7:30. Again, extending executive session to 7:30. Thank you.
I think we're good now. Thank you.
Okay. We are back from executive session and we are on to unfinished business. And we have got in the...
No video.
No video yet, Karen.
Okay. I can't see that. I've got the chat box open.
Oh,
It's a host issue.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so somebody tell me when we have that open.
There
I
we
think
go.
you're back on now. Thank you.
Pam.
There we
We're
go.
good.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, we are back from executive session and we are on to unfinished business. And our unfinished business this evening is the purchase and sale agreement. Approval notice for the Parker property tax parcel number 0624069005 and 0624069045. And in the chat box, I have got Councilmember Stewart.
Yes, I would like to move that we authorize the city manager to issue the approval notice to RM Parker Property Holdings LLC to purchase Park Property King County tax parcels 0624069005 and 0624069045 at 1818 and 1822 193rd Avenue Southeast, Sammamish, Washington 98075.
Second.
Okay, we have got a motion on the floor with the first and a second. Discussion? No discussion. Wow. Okay, seeing no discussion.
Call the question.
Call for the
Yep,
question.
let's do it.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously, it looks like, sounds like.
Thank
Well
you,
done.
the manager. Appreciate it.
And we have no new business. We don't have any reports. Anybody have anything for the good of the order?
I have a question, if I may. For the EIS, when will all of the comments be made available so that we can see all the comments that came in?
You know, I don't have an exacting answer for you unless Lisa has one. And we don't have anybody from community development or public works on here who's managing it. There will be a memo forthcoming from the consultants. They'll be delivered to them if it wasn't done today, probably this week, because the comments closed yesterday. And then the consultants will take it from there. Staff has looked at a number of options to try to keep on a tight meeting schedule for the end. And there are a couple recommended special meetings that they'll be providing more information to the council on. That's what I alluded earlier. But the exactness to your question, as soon as we find out, we'll get a memo out to the council, and then we'll get more on the website so everyone knows.
Okay, it looks like I have Lita. Lita, do you have a question?
Yes, I can update Dave on that. I spoke with Lindsay and Doug this afternoon, and they're going to put the comments on Connect Sammamish within the week. So
Okay, great.
in about a week.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I saw we got like about 40 requests for a public hearing on this. So I'd just like to see if there were
Yeah.
others that we weren't copied on, because there were a lot. And so I want to make sure we're addressing that.
Yes, all comments have to be addressed. There were form letters, which we often get 6 or 7 at a time, according to some of the
Yes.
staff. There was about 30 or 40 that were pretty much all the same. I
Right.
think there were a total number of comments of only about 53.
Yeah, so my question was, is a lot of it was based off of something that was kind of a misinformation because they didn't know. So
Possibly, but they're requesting a public hearing. And my understand, I mean, and when you get that many people requesting it, I just don't think we should be ignoring the public.
Well, we're going to take it to legal, provide the council some legal
If you would let
guidance.
me finish, I was not ignoring the public. It was that I don't think they understood the process.
Yeah.
Because we haven't been able to have input in this far, and we've been antsy and chomping at the bit. So I don't think anybody's understanding how the process works, because even we haven't had it, and neither has the planning commission or anybody else. People are not understanding the process. They're feeling left out of the process, and so they just need to understand the process.
We as a council can define and amend the process as needed.
We won't.
Okay, super. All right. Well, unless we have anything else for the
Move to
good.
adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All right. First and a second. All right.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All right. See you guys next week. Bye.